everyone, welcome to APTIPLUS, the Academy for Civil Services. Today we are here to discuss the important MCQ series for West Bengal Civil Services, and this is part 3 of the Polity and Economy section. Before going on to understand the MCQs, let us first relate to the learning objectives of this approach. Here we will be covering the most probable question that can be asked in your exam in both pre and mains. And these questions are framed based on the analysis of the themes on which questions have been asked in the previous years. So this will help us to understand the maximum MCQ in the minimum time as well as ensure our improvised score in both pre and mains exam. So moving ahead, let us see the first question. The first general election in India was held in the year 1952, 1950, 1947, 1962. And your answer is A, 1952. Let's see the explanation. The first election in independent India was held in 1951 to 1952, and it was conducted under Indian Constitution by Election Commission of India, which led to the establishment of first government under Jawaharlal Nehru, who was our first prime minister. Even before 1952, we have the interim government, which was being functioned under the parliament. This parliament was formed by Constituent Assembly that got converted into Indian Parliament for the time being. And after the election, the new members were elected to this parliament, which formed the new government under the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. However, the earlier Constituent Assembly, which was converted into parliament, led to the formation of your interim government for the time period till our elections are completed. So, our first election were completed in 1952 and a new government was formed. Moving on, the preamble of the Indian Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 15th August 47, 26 November 1949, 26 January 1950, 15th August 1948. Answer is 26th November 1949. And this is the date mentioned in your preamble, which starts with "We the people." On this day, our constitution was adopted. However, the day on which our constitution came into force is 26 January, which we celebrate as 26 January 1950, which we celebrate as Republic Day. Let us see the explanation. Preamble was adopted on 26 November 1947 and it came into force on 26 January 1950, celebrated as Republic Day. Moving on, under the Right to Information Act, the time limit for public authority to respond to an RTI request is A, 30 days, B, 60 days, C, 45 days, D, 90 days. And your answer is A, 30 days. So let's see this. First, we should know RTI Act came into existence in 2005. Here, we establish and recognize certain public authority who are required to share information with the public in order to ensure transparency in its operation. As a result, the public authority is required to provide the requested information within 30 days from the date of receipt of your application. And if somehow किसी की life danger में है, then that authority has to respond within the 48 hours. And ये जो authority होती है, for example, there is a public authority or any public office. तो उसके अंदर कोई ऑफिसर होते हैं जिनको अपॉइंट किया जाता है PIO, पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर, वो ये इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं. तो ये भी एक क्वेश्चन है, who that information is provided by your PIOs. And there is appellate mechanism under this act, which leads to appellate PIO formation. And then if somehow if this information is not provided by PIO, then the request goes to APIO, the complaint goes to APIO. If somehow that request is also not and the information is not entertained, then it will go to Information Commission and then to the Chief Information Commission. So proper cycle is laid down. We should also remember that RTI Act was recently amendment was brought in on 2019 में इस एक्ट में अमेंडमेंट आया था. Moving on, what is the minimum age requirement of a person to become a member of Gram Panchayat in India? A. 18 years, 21 years, 25 years, 30 years. The answer is B. 21 years. So we shall see the other option also. 18 years क्या है? हमारी voting age है. 25 years is the Lok Sabha age, means the age under which we can become the member of Lok Sabha, and 30 years is the age on which we can become the member of Rajya Sabha, and 21 year is the age in which we can become the member of Gram Panchayat. Now let's see. And this requirement was brought in by your 73rd Amendment Act. That person must be at least 21 years to become eligible to be elected as a member of Gram Panchayat at the village level. Now moving further, which of the following statement is not a feature of Indian federalism? A. Division of power between the union and the state government. B. Judiciary, independent judiciary to interpret the constitution. C. Dual system of government. D. Division of authority between the parliament and state legislature. And your answer is D. The division of authority. See, federalism के कुछ features होते हैं जिसमें properly power को divide किया जाता है union और that is center और state governments में. एक judiciary होती है जो कि कोई भी conflict होता है तो constitution को interpret करती है, and there is two tier of government, or you can say the dual system of government. And after the 73rd Amendment Act and 74th Amendment Act, we have also added the third tier of government. अब फेडरलिज्म में सबकी पावर्स इक्वली डिवाइडेड हैं, डिफाइंड हैं. सिमिलरली पार्लियामेंट का डोमेन, स्टेट का डोमेन भी डिफाइंड है इन योर 7th शेड्यूल, under which 3 lists are given, that is center list, union list, state list and concurrent list. However, ये authority divided नहीं है, ये इंडिपेंडेंट डोमेन में पार्लियामेंट एंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर आपके वर्क करते हैं. लेट्स सी द इंडियन सिस्टम. पार्लियामेंट एंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर डू नॉट शेयर अथॉरिटी. They have their independent legislative competence over the subject mentioned in union list and concurrent list for the parliament, while state legislature can make laws on the subject mentioned in your state list, and this is given in 7th शेड्यूल. तो हमें ये भी याद रखना है. तो स्टेट लॉ बना सकता है स्टेट लिस्ट के सब्जेक्ट पे एंड कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट के सब्जेक्ट पे. पार्लियामेंट इज यूनियन एंड कॉन्करेंट, एंड जो भी सब्जेक्ट मेंशन नहीं है उनको हम रेसिड्यूरी सब्जेक्ट्स कहते हैं, ऑन विच लॉ कैन बी मेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट. मूविंग अहेड, द सरफेसी एक्ट 2002 allows bank to refinance their loan from RBI, seize and sell the collateral of the defaulting borrowers, increase the interest rates on the defaulted loans, provide NPA, provide loans to the non-banking financial companies. And your answer is B. Seize and sell the collateral of the defaulting borrowers. So ये सरफेसी एक्ट कब आता है? एक कमिटी बनी होती है, नरसिम्हन कमिटी, that have asked in 1990s, that have asked the banks to be strengthened and be given power, and this has been done by RBI, and new act was brought in by the government, that is Surfaci Act. As a result, banks were given more power in order to recover those loans that have become NPA, that is non-performing asset. तो किसी लोन को अगर बैंक के लोन का ब्याज वापस नहीं आता है, ये इंटरेस्ट वापस नहीं आता है, या उसका मूल, दैट इज योर प्रिंसिपल एंड योर इंटरेस्ट डज नॉट रिटर्न बैक within 90 days, then that loan becomes your non-performing asset. And if it goes on continuously, then banks have the power to seize the collateral of the defaulting borrower. So that was given in your Surfaci Act, the powers to the bank. This is called securitization and reconstruction of the financial asset and the enforcement of the security interest. ये इसकी full form है. कब आया? 2002 में. It will allow banks and institutions to seize and sell the collaterals. This will help in reducing the NPAs in the economy. Moving on. The RBI regulates the functioning of the banking sector under the provision of Indian Company Act, Banking Regulation Act, 1949, Reserve Bank Act, 1934, Indian Financial Code. So your answer is Banking Regulation Act. This is the act which provides power to your RBI to govern and regulate the banking sector. However, जो RBI Act है, that gives the power to RBI and led to the formation of RBI. So your answer is the Banking Regulation Act for the regulation of banking sector. Let's see the explanation. It is a primary legislation that governs the functioning and the regulation of the commercial banks in India, and this power is assumed by your RBI. ये year भी important है, that is 1949, in which your Banking Regulation Act came. Moving ahead, the Global Innovation Index is published by World Economic Forum, World Bank, International Labour Organization, World Intellectual Property Organization, and your answer is D, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. तो ये एक इंडेक्स रिलीज होता है by WIPO. This organization will analyze the functioning in all the countries and will see and rank the countries based on the protection of intellectual properties in the entire world. That is, कहाँ पे अच्छी इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी रेजीम है, एज वेल एज कहाँ पे ज्यादा रिसर्च होता है एंड इनोवेशंस को प्रमोट किया जाता है बाय बिजनेसेस एंड बाय इंडिविजुअल्स. उस बेसिस पे एक रैंकिंग रिलीज करी जाती है, दैट इज कॉल्ड योर ग्लोबल इनोवेशन इंडेक्स. एंड हमें ऑर्गेनाइजेशन याद रखनी है, कौन रिलीज करता है? वीपो. दिस इज ग्लोबल इनोवेशन इंडेक्स पब्लिश्ड एनुअली. हर साल कौन पब्लिश करता है? वीपो. एंड इट takes into account factors like research and development spending, education, technology, and other factors. Let's move on. Which of the following is an indicator used by the ILO, that is International Labour Organization, to measure the unemployment? And your options are labor force participation rate, national income per capita inflation rate, GDP growth rate. तो लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट मेजर करेगी, और ए लेबर फोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन रेट. Let's see the explanation. Labor force participation rate is an important indicator by ILO to measure the participation of working age population in the labor market, and then it calculates the unemployment rate. In the similar manner, our National Statistical Organization also measure labor force participation rate in our country, that is India, and this is done by doing a survey, that is periodic labor force survey. Each year, every quarterly surveys are released by this organization, which follow the same methodology as adopted by your ILO, that is labor force participation rate for unemployment calculation. तो this we should remember कि labor force participation rate वाली मेथडोलॉजी से हम अपनी कंट्री में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट मेजर करते हैं. कौन करता है? NSO करता है. एंड क्या होता है उसके लिए? वी डज पीरियोडिक लेबर फोर्स सर्वे. नेक्स्ट इज पिंक रेवोल्यूशन is related to increased production of cotton, prawns, horticulture, poultry. आंसर इज बी, prawns. जैसे पिंक रेवोल्यूशन है, वैसे और भी रेवोल्यूशन इंडिया में हुए हैं. मिल्क प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज करने के लिए वी हैव व्हाइट रेवोल्यूशन, सिल्वर फॉर एग, ग्रे फॉर fertilizers. Similarly, We have golden for horticulture crops. We have evergreen, that is for overall development. And poultry mein, or you can say egg wala, this is again simple, your silver revolution. Then we have seen green revolution in India for food production. Then cotton revolution is also there. So these are the major revolutions which India is witnessing and has witnessed in the past. Let's see the explanation. Pink revolution refers to rise in the prawn production, shrimp export specifically. तो shrimp भी लिखा आएगा तो भी आपको यही लिखना है pink revolution. So this was all in today's lecture. Thank you very much.